Welcome to Parenting Successful Teens, the podcast that cuts through the overwhelm and stress of this phase and offers parents simple, practical, cognitive, science-based strategies for keeping their teens on track. Join Master Coach and real-life mom, Allie Irwin, to talk about real teens, real problems, and the skills it takes to raise successful adults.
Hello, everybody. I have another episode for you on productivity. You can tell I still have way too much to do, too many things going on. And so productivity has been on my mind a lot. And I know it's on your mind too because you're busy. Like moms are busy people. So one of the questions that I get asked, probably like one of the top 5 questions I get asked, is about setting priorities. We definitely have more things to get done than we could get done in a day with a team. So how do you decide what you're going to do each day, and how do you make those decisions in ways that are lined up with your values, and so that you get to the end of the day and you can feel good about what you got done? So I'm going to offer you today a little system that I have been playing with, because I don't think there's a one single right system. Even there isn't a single right system for you. There's just like the system that works for you right now. And as things change in your life, you're going to adopt a variety of different systems. So this is what I'm using right now. So the first step is to do a whole list of what you might want to get done, like a brain dump. And I use this system the most when I don't already have clear priorities for the day. If I wake up, like today's a really busy day, it's a mix of clients and classes and personal things that I want to get done. It's a beautiful day outside, so I want to get a little exercise in. And so I woke up almost in freeze mode because there's so many things that I want to do that I almost didn't know where to start. So if you have that feeling, the first thing to do is a brain dump. And what that means is you're just going to take out a sheet of paper and write down everything that you're thinking, everything that you think you could want to get done today. And there's no editing. Okay. So on there goes even things that you wouldn't in 1,000 years dream that you would get done today. There's just no editing. Just like write down all the things that you know have to get done, and the things that are in your mind, but you know, like even as you're writing them, you're going to be tempted to self-edit. And I want to discourage you from that because you want to get all of that stuff out of there. Because if you don't, it kind of rattles around in your brain and pokes you all day long. And it's better to just get it all out on paper. And I really like writing it down on a piece of paper. There's something about the physical act of writing that connects to my brain more effectively. But if you are, if you're a computer person, like if you prefer doing to-do lists on a piece of paper or like in a computer way, go ahead and do that, whether it's a note on your phone or a Google Doc or whatever it is. The other thing I like about paper is oftentimes I will do this brain dump in something that feels less serious, because I don't want to take my productivity, I don't want to layer on top of it this like extra importance or this extra level of seriousness. So sometimes I'll do it on a piece, like the back of a piece of paper, so that it feels disposable and it feels, like less important. I'm taking the pressure off. Sometimes I'll do it in a color. Like I have a container of markers, thin markers, like those Flair fine tip markers, fine tip pens. I don't know what they're markers on my desk. And I'll do it in a color because, again, I'm trying to take the seriousness and the pressure out of this and introduce a little bit of levity so that, having a lot of things to do feels like pressure to start with. So writing it in a non-pressure way, whether it's on a piece of scrap paper or it's on with a colored marker, just helps me get into the idea of just taking everything out of my brain and getting it out on a piece of paper. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to create a rating system that matters to you. Okay, there isn't an official best practices rating system because there isn't one way to think about your priorities. So it's really important in your rating system to incorporate your values, to incorporate what matters to you. Like at the end of the day, how do you want to feel about the day that you had? So the system I've been playing with is an ABC system, okay? A for me stands for important and time sensitive. Okay, those are things that both have to get done today. Oftentimes those are those are tied to something external, like the class I'm teaching tonight is for an organization. And so, that to-do item is time sensitive. It just is because the class is scheduled and people are showing up. So that has to get done today. That's an A priority. And also in A are things that I want to get done today. It has to be both of those things. I want to, let me check my A list for today. I want to do a run through this afternoon of my talk tonight to make sure that I'm not cramming. I have a tendency of putting too many things in my class and then having to cut them out on the fly, which is fine. It works. It's nice to always have extra material. But for today, I think the talk tonight is a 3-hour talk and I only have an hour scheduled. So I need to run that time today. That's important to me to get done and it's time sensitive. Okay, so for me, that's the A category. B for me is all the medium stuff. It's stuff that, I kind of want to do, but it's just medium. It's not, I don't need to make it any more complicated than that. And I encourage you not to make your system any more complicated than that. So A is important and time sensitive. B is just medium in all the ways. I medium want to do it. It medium needs to get done. It's medium important to other people. It's just medium. C for me, I'm laughing because this so reveals my values. And I encourage you to have a system that reveals your values. C is medium in importance and it sounds like fun. So it's medium importance, but it's high in something that I want to do. So I'm pulling up my list. A C importance is I have a curtain rod that needs a center support. Every time I walk by that room and I see the curtain rod sagging in the middle, it bugs me a little bit. And so it sounds like fun to me today to fix that. Okay, that C item reveals my values. It wouldn't make my husband's to-do list at all. Probably if you came over, you wouldn't even notice it. But it would feel really good to me to get that item done today. Let's see, another C item. Oh, I have a friend that reached out to me to edit an email for her. She's having a problem with someone that she's done work with, and she wants me to just take a quick look at her email. That's something I do for clients quite a bit when I'm helping them, develop more confidence. This is in their professional life and in their personal life, getting more comfortable asking for what they want. A lot of times I will go through and help someone edit their email because in writing, it's revealing what they're thinking and it becomes a really tangible way to coach someone. And so I had a friend reach out and ask me to do that for her as well. And to me, honestly, that sounds like fun. It'll probably take me 5 minutes. And so it's medium importance. She's going to send this email whether I look at it or not. But it sounds like fun for me to do. So that gets a C. Okay, so step 1, write your list. Step 2, create a rating system that works for you. I'm not saying that you should use mine. I'm offering it as an example of a rating system. What I would stay away from rating systems that are like overly complicated, don't sound like fun to you to apply, are value or like don't line up with your values, like highest importance, medium importance, low importance. Like to me, what does that even mean? Like low importance, but it's important for me to, do these things. So to me, that's like doesn't have enough dimensions to actually help me create a day that's going to feel good for myself, right? Like if it's only importance, then I'm not factoring in like fun and community, which is revealed in my system. Editing my friend's email is one of the ways that I'm in community with my friends. And so that's going to be, a higher priority than the ones that are just all like medium, kind of meh. B could be described as meh. So step 3 is to apply the system. So run through that list that you wrote out and just quickly A, B, or C, or whatever your system is that you came up with. And you want to apply the system both with your brain and with your body. And so how that actually looks when I say apply the system with your body, notice kind of that warmer, colder. So some, as I'm running through them, it's really easy for me to tell what it is, whether it's an A, B, or C. But when I would get to one that I was sticky on, I would feel in my body, is it warmer, colder, whether like what that is. And if I still couldn't tell, then it was obviously a B. It's medium. Like if I can't feel that it's a C, it's a B for me. Okay, that like applying the system, the trick to doing that is to be really, really fast. Use your first hit or your first instinct and what that is. Couple of notes. One is when you look back through what you've rated, obviously your A's and your C's are your most important. And B's are just going to wait for another day. So we're not crossing them off. We're not saying that they're not important. We're just sort of putting those off for another day. Another day they will rise either to important and time sensitive or important and sounds like fun or whatever your system is. If you have, but there's a limit to the number of things that can be A's, and that limit is 3 to 5. 3 is kind of your ideal number, and 5 is kind of your max number. Because everything in your life can't be important and time sensitive and aligned with your values. And I don't have anything in there, like my A's aren't my class or my clients. My A's are all the things that I'm looking to fit in around those. So when I say 3 to 5, if you have, a full day of clients, these are the things that you would do around those client appointments. And when you think about it that way, you can see that you just can't realistically have that many things. Once you get outside that number, you're just putting pressure on yourself. Okay? So then you're going to want to do the A's and the C's. You're going to want to schedule out, if that works for you, which A's you're going to do when. Now, typically for me, I'm not a huge scheduler of that. I'm a little bit more flexible thinking. But some days when those things really need to get done, I push myself to get the A's done first. And if I'm resisting doing them, then I question what that resistance is. One of my A's today, let's see, which was the one that I was questioning. I have a neighbor that's asking me to go for a walk with her this afternoon. And I really want to do that because I'm teaching classes tonight. Like I won't have downtime tonight. I'm going to be working late. And so I want to get some exercise and some outdoor time and some social time in this afternoon. But I have been resisting responding to her, even though it's something that I want to do. And so what you want to do is you want to question that resistance and understand like what is the piece of it that feels like it's hard to do, and address that. Okay. And the piece that feels hard for me to do in this is I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have time to walk. And so, being aware of what the sticking point is helps move you forward. So much of procrastination is because we have resistance and we're not looking specifically, like we're not walking towards what that resistance is to see what the problem is, and then just address that. Like, don't make it wrong that you have resistance. Resistance is just a cue that there's something there that's making you uncomfortable, and, just address it. If you need help, I make it sound so simple, but if you need help addressing your resistance, reach out. I do, these get to know you calls, single session. I do single session coaching calls, and I do free strategy calls all the time. So just reach out, Allie@AllieIrwin.com, and request one, and we'll get it on the schedule. And that's true of the whole productivity system in general. If you're not getting done in your life what you want to get done, if you don't get to the end of the day and feel good about how you spent your day, it's definitely worth getting support. Our life is made up of a series of those days. And so you don't want days to go by and feel like you're not, living the life that you want to live. So I hope this is helpful. I would love to hear what your rating system is. I would be so curious because it should be specific to you. So let me know what you think, Allie@AllieIrwin.com, and have a great week.